Did you know that you theoretically can trace your house all the way back to ye old times of Cortez and Hernandez all conquering the world and whatnot? You can see where the original landowners who owned your piece of land actually were. You can see who they owned, who they transferred it to, all the way down to you in this day and age. So today I want to talk about chain of title, owning a house. What does that really mean, and why is that really important in estate planning? So before I dive into that, you can find me at my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. You can schedule a free consultation over the phone with me about the incredibly sexy topic of chain of title. So with that, let's dive right in, because a chain of title is extremely important. We need to figure out who owns what. That's really what we're trying to accomplish. And real estate is like the most important asset in all of Texas. If you look back at our Constitution, if you look back at our history, you can see that a lot of our efforts were to preserve land, to make sure that we knew who owned what and who could have claim on certain pieces of land. Now, what happens is that when somebody owns a piece of land, they have two aspects to the land. I mean, there are many other aspects, but this is the most important part for estate planning. You have your mailing address where we send your mail and, you get to read your mail or whatever. But we have your legal description as well. And the legal description is something that a lot of people don't know about. This legal description is a paragraph that literally says, Lot A, Phase 1 of this neighborhood on the plot of land number 8725. It's a really weird phrased paragraph, but it's a technical description of the piece of land that you own. And that legal description is what people will use and go to the county records and say, okay, we look at this book with this plat of land, it's recorded here, okay, now we can find exactly what the property is, and we know exactly what's going on. Because oftentimes mailing addresses can change. What if the street name changes? What if people move out? What if people have renting? All sorts of things. But the owner of that piece of land has that one legal description. That one legal description is yours exclusively. No one else has it. And so that legal description is incredibly important to get it correct, because you're going to take that legal description, put it into a new deed, and then transfer that property from you as an individual to you as the trustee of your trust, and therefore your trust now owns that property. So an often mistake I see is where people are like, oh, I'll just do it myself. I just want to transfer my own land to me through my trust. I don't want to worry about attorneys. So I'll draft a deed. I'll pay, $100 online, and I'll put my mailing address in there, right? And it's wrong. And a mailing address is not a legal description. A mailing address will not make the chain of title correct. And it's going to create a problem so that whenever you try to sell the property, if you're dead and somebody's trying to access that property, whatever, a title company is going to see this mistake and they're going to say, hey, we're back to square one. I have no idea who owns this property, and we got to red flag it and have a judge resolve this. So a chain of title is extremely important, especially working with an attorney, to make sure you get that legal description correct, because if you mess that up, it's bad news. It is very, very bad news. And that legal description, again, goes from Cortez to Hernandez to someone else, and then 300 years later we can say, okay, this plot of land was split this way, this again another split, and now we have this really small subsection for Derek, and Derek owns this legal description, and that's why it's incredibly important. So that's a 10,000 foot view. Again, I could go into this way more. I mean, there's so much more information to talk about when it comes to real estate owning, but that's kind of the most important aspect when it comes to chain of title when it comes to property. So if you have any other questions on this or anything else, how to transfer your property into your trust, why you have such a weird description on your deed, stuff like that, I'd be more than happy to chat with you about it. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. You can go to our Contact Us page and schedule a phone call with me directly over the phone, and we can chat then. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.